Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally getting around to my April wrap-up and my May TBR. So for this video, I've actually decided to combine the two, my April wrap-up and my May TBR, because I'm a little late filming it and getting it uploaded. So I figured combining the two would probably be a little bit more convenient for me. I hope that you guys don't mind that, and I hope that you enjoy it. Let me know if you prefer me to do it this way. I can always split them up into two videos or do them as one. I don't know which one you guys prefer. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. So just let me know in the comments below if there's one that you prefer over the other. So for the month of April, I read 6 books and 1 graphic novel. The first book that I read is The Last Time We Say Goodbye by Cynthia Hand, and I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. So this book is about a girl named Lex, and her brother has committed suicide, and it's basically about her journey dealing with that and some things that happen, and there's kind of some revelations along the way, so I won't give those away obviously, but I highly recommend this book. It does have trigger warnings for suicide, so just be aware of that. The next book that I read was The Murder Complex by Lindsay Cummings. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It was excellent. I absolutely loved it, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the second book. It's kind of hard to describe this book without giving anything away, but the one thing that I will say is that there are people in this book that are programmed to kill other people. I remember specifically there was one part that I read that just threw me for a loop, and it was a big twist that I was not expecting, and that made this book even better. So I highly recommend this. It's very action-packed and a very fast-paced read. The next book that I read is Possessed by Gretchen McNeil. I wanted to kind of read a book that was a little bit scary. Unfortunately, I did not get scared by this book at all. I gave this book a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I did like it. It was okay, but I have to say it wasn't the best. This is about a girl who can banish demons, and I think this is the same author that wrote 10, and I really liked 10, so I went into this one, you know, kind of hoping that I would like it as well, but I think that she wrote this one before she wrote 10, so this one just did not live up to what I expected it to be, so this one just 3.5 for me. If you like Gretchen McNeil, I would say to read it because it's good. It's not a bad book. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I would. The next book that I read is The Archive by Victoria Schwab. This book is amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I'm wanting to hit myself for not reading it sooner. This book was excellent. If you don't know much about it, I would suggest going into it without knowing much about it, which is what I did. It's kind of hard to explain, but she does a very good job of explaining it throughout the book and helping you to understand what's going on. It's very fast-paced, very different, and I think that you would enjoy it if you've read other books by her. So if you've read anything by her, I would definitely check this duology out. It's pretty amazing, and I really loved it. The next book I read is Hitler, the Man and the Military Leader by Percy Ernst Strom, and this was a book that I had to read for a class that I am taking, and I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. I decided to go ahead and rate it because I did read it cover to cover. It's interesting. It's essays done by someone who worked around Hitler's officers and stuff during the time of the war, and it's good. It's hard to read because it's nonfiction, and it has a lot of historical information in it, and I'm not by any means a big history buff, so it was kind of difficult to read some parts of this, but I did power through it, and all in all, it was a good read. I got a lot of information from it that I didn't know already about Hitler that was pretty insightful, so I could not give this anything below a 3. And to give myself a little break from reading that Hitler book, I picked up The Walking Dead Volume 7, The Calm Before. I loved it. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. I love all of these graphic novels, there's no question. If you haven't picked these up, I highly recommend that you do. They're kind of gory, but they're in black and white, so I consider that to be not as bad. I definitely think that the TV show is a lot more gory than the graphic novels. So if you're into zombie reads and stuff, definitely check this out. It's amazing. And the last book that I read in April is The Unbound by Victoria Schwab. This is the second book and the final book, as far as I'm concerned, in the Archive duology. There has been rumored to be a third book coming out, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to happen or not. If it does, that's great, but I think that this book ended very well. I think that the duology is completed, and I really enjoyed this book just as much as the archives, and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So those are the books that I read in April, so let's get on to the books that I plan to read in May. So I picked up All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven, and I have finished this book, and I will talk about it more in my wrap-up at the end of the month. And the book that I am currently reading is Broken Promise by Linwood Barclay. I received an ARC in the mail, had a heart attack, died, and then revived myself and started reading this because Linwood Barclay is my all-time favorite author, and I was so desperately trying to get my hands on an ARC of this book, and I think I scared my husband when I opened the package when I got it in the mail. So I'm already about 100 and something pages into this, and it is amazing. I love it so far. I plan to do a full video review of this book after I have finished reading it, and it will be my first video review, so hopefully I can do it correctly because this book deserves some praise already. The next book that I hope to pick up is Seraphina by Rachel Hartman. Dragon book. Don't know much about it, got it for my birthday, and it looks amazing, and I've heard good things about it, so I want to dive into this one. The next book that I would like to read is The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. This has been related to Gone Girl, and I loved Gone Girl very much, so I really want to check this one out and see how I like it. It's pretty short, so I think I can get through this one fairly quickly. The next book that I would like to read is Shutter by Courtney Alameda. And this is a scary book. I don't know too much about it again, but the cover is awesome, and I really want to read this one this month. I kind of like to fit at least one scary book in my TBR for the month, so hopefully I will get to this one before the month is out. And the next one that I would like to read is I'll Meet You There by Heather Demetrios, and this is a contemporary novel. I have heard really great things about this book, so hopefully I will get to this one. And lastly, I plan to read The Walking Dead Volume 8 and The Walking Dead Volume 9. The title of Volume 8 is Made to Suffer, and the title of Volume 9 is Here We Remain. I love these graphic novels, as I said earlier, so there is no doubt in my mind that I will get to these before the end of the month. I will probably read them in between reading some of the other books that I have planned for this month. So that is it for my April wrap-up and my May TBR. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books and what your thoughts were. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you on Friday. Bye. This book... And... What are you doing? You're spazzing. Bear, stop. What are you doing? He's sitting in my other chair freaking out. Why do you do this while I'm filming? Weirdo. The book that I read is The Archive by Victoria. So I have picked up all the I hope you guys have a great... When's this going up? Monday?